started playing basketball when I was 6 years old. I started playing at the YMCA. It was a little league, and we just got together with some friends and we started playing as a team.
I started playing soccer when I was 4 years old. My parents definitely had me try out a bunch of different sports just to see what I liked and see if I was good at, but I think soccer just stuck with me because I was just really passionate about it and just constantly wanted to get better every day.
I also started soccer at a really young age. I think I was around 4 or 5, and my parents had a huge impact on me. They definitely wanted me to be in a competitive environment and around a big team and just learn from a young age what it means to be on a team and play with other girls and just learn from that perspective.
This will be my 8th season playing lacrosse. I started playing in my 8th grade year of middle school, so I'm really excited to keep going with it.
And this is my 7th season playing, and I started playing the summer before my freshman year in high school.
So I've been playing volleyball since I was 10 years old, probably about 4th grade. Didn't really have a choice when I started. My parents kind of just put me into it. Started playing like in-house club leagues, and from there I just learned to love it. And it was just my choice to go back every year. So I've been playing for a while now.
I played goalie for the lacrosse team, and originally whenever I was in 8th grade, I started playing goalie because I was so awful at running. I didn't want to run. I thought that it would be make it so that I didn't have to do it as much, but then it grew on me. I got better at running, and now it gives me an opportunity to see the whole field. I am the leader of the defense. I can see everything that's happening, and I have a role that I really enjoy playing on the team.
So I played defense, but I also play attack. But I started playing defense because I couldn't catch a ball. And so I just started playing defense, and I was pretty good at it. And then my senior year of high school, I played defense, midfield, and attack. And then I played attack and defense my freshman year, then primarily defense last year along with attack, and now I play primarily defense.
I'm a shooting guard / small forward. Shooting guard obviously shoots the ball, and a small forward kind of is expected to do more of the little things like rebound, go after the loose balls, 50-50 balls as our coach always calls them. And also on the court, I'm just expected to be a leader and a role model.
Julie and I are both co-captains on the women's soccer team. I play attacking center mid and forward.
And I play defensive center mid and occasionally center back.
I believe my role as a center mid is to distribute the ball and set the pace of the game, and definitely work on the flow and to make sure it's not too fast of a pace, and just slow down the game and help the team relax. And as a forward, the main goal is to score, but also to set up opportunities for my teammates for us to be successful on the field.
As for my role, I definitely like the flexibility of it, going back and forth from midfield to defense. In midfield, I really try to distribute the ball to my teammates, as Alexa said, setting them up for their best possible success so we can get some goals in. And then when I go back to defense, I just try and help out the back line as much as I possibly can, not letting the other team score, obviously. And I really think it's important that me and Lex step up as leaders and lead our team so we can all feel motivated at the end and get the best result.
So right now on the team, I'm an outside hitter. I'm a junior, so I've definitely developed a leadership role over the past few years. My sophomore and my freshman year, I didn't play much, but this past season, my junior year, I was a starter, played all 3 front rotations, helped our team develop and just get to that championship title.
I didn't start running until my junior / senior year, kind of that transition. I thought running 1.5 miles, let alone 3 miles, would actually kill me over. So running was definitely not in my best interest. It's something I've learned to grow and learn to love.
We were both recruited to come to AU to play soccer, but besides that, I think we both really fell in love with the small campus size and the small classrooms and being able to walk across campus within 5-10 minutes rather than a large campus getting lost everywhere.
And also, I really love the one-on-one that comes along with the small class sizes. Getting to know your professor is extremely beneficial in helping you succeed in your classes. And coming from out of state, both of us personally feel as though AU is something that is a very comfortable campus where you can really get to know everyone, and it's really comforting knowing that you're always welcome wherever you're going to be.
I actually was leaving for Rhode Island on our junior recruitment day, and I decided to just to come and see the school because I got free stuff. And I actually left campus knowing that this is where I was going to go, even though I was going to visit another school in Rhode Island. And my mom knew on the car right there. She was like, "Do we even have to go?" So she was a little disappointed by that. But I basically knew as soon as I got on campus that this was where I was going to go, and this is where I was going to spend the next 4 years.
I decided to come after attending a summer camp that our lacrosse team had the summer before our senior year of high school. I flew up from Texas, and then Lori and I were actually roommates at the camp, and after meeting the girls, meeting the coaches, it was sealed and I committed right after that camp.
I was recruited here for basketball, and then when I came here for my visits, I really liked the small, friendly feel of the campus. I liked being more than just a number in the classroom. I wanted to have that relationship with my professors. And also, an interesting fact is my uncle actually lives 10 minutes away from here, and I had no clue about that when I got recruited here. So it's been really nice to get closer to him over the years being here on campus.
Being a student athlete is very hard. I've been a student athlete since I was probably like 10, 12 years old, so I'm used to the hard, rigorous environment of it. But it doesn't really leave me with much free time, as in being a nursing student and being on a high-level volleyball team. I don't have much downtime. My downtime is honestly spent sleeping. I go from practice to lifting to studying, and it's just a lot.
So I manage being a student athlete mainly based off of time management and what I can get done in like the most amount of time with a cutoff. So I try to get to bed by 10:30, no later. If nothing's done by 10:30, it's over and done with. I'm going right to bed. Time management is huge, especially in nursing school with every subject and disorder I have to study. And then just running on top of it. You know, sometimes my runs can take up to an hour or maybe a little bit more, and that's a huge chunk of my day where I could spend that hour studying or doing my workouts. So I think time management plays a huge role in being a student athlete.
Being a student athlete can be difficult. You just have to make sure that you're really on time with your scheduling, getting to and from practice, getting all of your assignments done, especially like working as well, like working in that schedule with the practice times, game times, everything, and making sure everything is cohesively working together and that you're not overworking yourself also. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. And I definitely plan out my days because if I don't plan out my week or sometimes even my month, I forget things and then it kind of just overlaps and it's bad.
I think being a student athlete can be difficult if you don't know how to manage your time, but luckily I've been really good with organization and time management throughout my entire life. So being a student athlete definitely isn't as difficult for me as it could be for someone else.
So we have 6 a.m. practices 2 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and I think those 2 days are like the highlight practice days of the week because throughout the week we're kind of just scattered and there's no really set practice time where we're all together. So 6 a.m. we start, 2 laps and then we bring it all together and coach is having us clap it up super loud, trying to get us awake at 6 a.m. And then he starts talking about our week, what the meet's going to be like that weekend. And the best part I think this season so far is that he has a quote of the day or quote of the week, I think it is. And he finds these quotes with meaning behind it and how they're going to contribute to our meet that weekend and what we need to do. So having that under our belt at the start of the week, Monday morning, I think is a great asset to pushing us forward to getting through what might be a stressful week, but then it turns out not to be so stressful when we've got everyone together 2 days at those Monday, Wednesday, 2 most important days I think of the week for us to get through together and have a successful performance on Saturday.
So a typical practice for us is we usually start off by stretching as a team, and we'll do dynamic circle stretching and everything all together. And then after that, we'll break out in a huddle and we will start and do some warm-up drills, just kind of get our legs into everything so that we can get into our shots. And then we'll usually split post guard work. And then from there, we'll go over our own plays. Sometimes we add in new plays. We'll do some rebounding drills. Every practice is different this year. It's not something that I can predict when I go in, but most of the drills are similar. It's just different orders and how we do everything.
So for our regular practices, generally we'll start with a quick warm-up with our team, and then we do some band activation so we're not hurting ourselves throughout the practices. Typically we'll just do a couple of drills. Shannon, our coach, will do lots of 1v1s. She's really into those. Shooting drills and just anything that really gets us in the game mindset.
And then for game day practices, they're a little different since we don't want to stress out our bodies before the game. It's more like a relaxation, like a competitive environment. Like Julia said, we start with warm-up and bands, then we usually just play some like fun games to like ease our minds and just really like boost our confidence for the game and just have fun for practice before the games.
So a typical practice day for us, we kind of start off with like our stretches and our stick work, and then what happens is we get broken up into groups by position, and then after that we kind of come back together, do some full field drills, and then we play sevens, which is like a scrimmage.
Yeah, and while the field players are doing like their stick work at the beginning, the goalies are off to the side. We'll start with our footwork and ladders, and then we'll get warmed up separately so that whenever they're ready for actual drills, like we're warmed up and ready to go with them.
I think the best part about game days is after like all the hours of practice and putting in the work in the weight room and just on your own, it's just when it translates into the game and you see success through it, whether it's just individually or like with your team, like you can see how much progress and development that your team has gone through through the long hours of practice.
Yeah, I agree with Alexis. When you work so hard on the field with your teammates and then going into a game and seeing results and scoring the goals, getting that adrenaline rush is 100% what makes game days worth it.
So my favorite thing about game days is definitely pre-game rituals. Usually we go in the locker room, we blast music, and just have like a big dance party as a team. It really just gets us all really pumped up. And another thing I love about game days is the crowd we draw and the support we get from the school.
So what makes me so passionate about running is that it's kind of like a really good escape. With all the studying and nursing school that it's brought me, instead of crying, I kind of use running as like the escape or the alternative to crying. Sometimes it's a little bit of both, but running has definitely like made it a way for me to clear my mind, de-stress a little bit, and just kind of get my life together into one.
The relationships that I've made with people on the court and just going out and doing something that I love and have been most passionate about ever since I was 6 years old.
Driven for one, like how long I've been playing, and then two, just my love for athletics. I love that it's like a fast-paced game, and the teamwork and camaraderie is really a big part of that and why I love it.
It's our team dynamic. Like, these girls are my best friends. We do everything together. We really always have a good time together whenever we're doing away games or trips, and we have like nice team bonding events that we do.
Is that we do a lot of like community service things. So right now we're actually in wake of what happened last week with the shooting. We are currently baking like cookies and stuff for the Aurora Police Department and the Aurora Fire Department, and we're today signing at practice cards for both departments.
Over my years of playing, I've definitely had a variety of different coaches. Not all have impacted me positively. One certainly just comes to mind that definitely has a negative impact, but through those negative associations and negative impacts, I've definitely brought out a positive out of that.
One being I have learned to step up to be a leader, whether that's in the classroom, with my friends, family members, whatever it may be. I've definitely learned to lead my peers. And then secondly, it's also helped a lot with time management. You definitely learn how to manage your practices, your classes, your work schedule, and it's really helped me with that.
I'd have to agree too with the leadership aspect and time management, but also communication. I'm usually not one to openly like talk to big groups, but I think soccer has definitely formed me into a person that is more comfortable with speaking to people and assuming that leadership role and speaking up for what I believe is what should be said and like what's right, and just overall, like in the classroom or for future work, I just think that the leadership and communication and collaboration aspect definitely has come from soccer.
So the NAC All Conference and the NCAA All Region Award in 2017 was 2017 in general was just like a huge highlight of my entire career. I think that was the year, the All Conference, I actually won conference, and then being in the NCAAs, I went to Nationals in Louisville, Kentucky, and had my best performance there in a 6K ever.
I'd like to be a middle school PE teacher. I really like the middle school age. A lot of people don't like that age because of puberty and just awkwardness and everything, but I feel like in my middle school ages, that's when I struggled a little bit, and I had a few teachers that helped me through that rough time, so that's what I would like to be for those students. And I also want to coach, so being a teacher also will help me get a coaching job.
So nursing brought an interest to me. I guess it kind of starts when I got my certified nursing assistant license. So I've been doing that for 4 years, and just giving back kind of to people who are sick or ill or need my help is just one thing that it makes me happy. So going to work is never something I stress about. If I work 3 days in a row, I'm like, oh, like, you know, I don't mind. It's fine. But nursing, it's just, I mean, you see some interesting things, and I'm always so curious about what goes on.
So the reason I decided to study nursing draws back to my freshman year of high school. My grandma got really, really sick, was in the hospital for a very long time. She cheated death, she's still alive now, but the care that her nurses provided for her played a big role on why she's alive today. So that was really a big drive to why I went into the field of nursing. I also just have a love for science and anatomy and biology.